Okay. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very honored to be invited to today's symposium. And thanks for the invitation of CCG and the UN Women in China. Today's topic, gender responsive technology and innovation in the 21st century, brought me back to over 10 years ago when I attended a training program held by APEC in Korea. The name of the training program is Improve the Role of Women in the ICT Society. And over 10 years ago, we called the society a ICT society. Now we call it a digital society. It was the first time for me to link the gender issue with the ICT development issue. And also the first time for me to know there is a ministry in Korea called Gender Equality Ministry. And I also visited the Women's University there in Seoul. For the gender issues, I noticed that UN has always attached great importance to this issue. Mrs. Sima Bahus, the executive director of UN Women, emphasized that climate exchange and gender inequality are the two major challenges facing today's world. And Mr. Abdullah Shahid, the president of the 76th session of the UN General Assembly, even called for the next Secretary General of UN should be a female. And last September, that is September of 2022, in International Telecom Union, they call it ITU, under UN, has witnessed the first Secretary General, female Secretary General, in its 157-year history, Ms. Doreen Martin of the United States. But for centuries, the concept of male superiority and female inferiority still deeply rooted, especially in Asian and African countries. But in China, just like what was introduced by Mr. Chen of Ministry of Education, encouraging progress has been registered in recent years in the gender equality process, which can be reflected by the statistics of education, employment. In 2019, the number of female entrepreneurs in China accounted for 1/4 of the total Chinese entrepreneurs, while the percentage in IT, internet, and other emerging technology sectors are even as high as 50% or more, which is higher than that of global average level. I worked in CCID. Now, CCID is a think tank under Ministry of Industry and Information Technology. We are major in industry and ICT studies. My center owns around 2,000 staff, and I'm proud to say that the number of female and male are almost the same. So we can say that the gender ratio in CCID is very harmonious. In the recent years, the number of female at middle management position in my center is getting higher. So I read a study which said that gender attitude will form positive cycle, which is that the better the women develops, the more equal the gender attitude, and the more equal the society becomes. Today's topic is technology and innovation in the 21st century. 21st century is also called digital economy era. So I'd like to touch upon 3 concerns over women in this era. I call it 3 uncertainties, all 3 U's, U, capital letter U, because all the 3 words are begun with the letter U. The first one is unbalanced. My question is whether the gender imbalance will get worse in digital-related education. Just now, Mr. Chen said that the number of female college students is a little bit more than that of male college students. If I'm right, the percentage is 53 for female. So that is quite inspiring. But I also noticed that in the STEM-related subjects, STEM, I think all of you are familiar, which is an acronym for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. The boy college students are much more than that of girls. I just visited Harbin Engineering University, Hagongcheng, which is in Heilongjiang province of northeast China. It's also one of the 7 universities directly under MIIT. That university was formerly a military engineering academy of People's Liberation Army, and which is very strong in marine and nuclear technology and equipment study. I learned that university has students of 30,000, among which the girl students 5,000, accounting for only 1/6. And I think the case is also true to other countries, including developed countries, or Korea, Australia, the United States. I also read some statistics, which is also true to them. So I think one of the key issues for female development in digital economy era is to bridge the gender digital divide at the education level. My second word is unfair. That is whether the prejudice against women will still be continued in this digital era. We always, by digital economy, we always say it has 2 parts. One is the narrow concept of digital economy, that is the traditional ICT sector. And the other is a broader concept of digital economy, which is a digital transformation or digitalized industry, including the IT-related service industry, which we think may likely to create more job opportunities for women. But to grasp those new opportunities, the stereotypes that women are not good technology developers and other prejudice against the women need to be abandoned. At the same time, we need to notice that women are more likely to be put at risk in the digital transformation. According to McKinsey Global Institute research, with the development of automation, by the year 2030, nearly 20% of female and 21% of male may lose their jobs. It sounds like the impact on male and female is almost the same, 20% versus 21%, almost the same. However, during the process of looking for new jobs, I think women will encounter more difficulties, such as the lack of education of STEM-related subjects and the lack of time of being further educated because they need to take care of their children and do more housework. So the third word is unpresent. That is, whether women will have limited opportunities in leadership positions. You know, the platform companies in digital economy takes the feature of winner takes all, which can be seen from Microsoft, Facebook, Amazon, who are quite a giant in terms of wealth and social influence, and they are even regarded as a kind of threat to national security and social fairness. In this era, the role of female leadership accounts more. Mrs. Shirley Sandberg, the former COO of Facebook, wrote a book named Lean In, Women, Work, and the Will to Lead. In the book, she said, I hope you have the ambition, she said to the females, I hope that you have the ambition to lean in to your career and run the world, because the world needs you to change it. So that the above are my 3 concerns or questions for women in the digital economy era. Regretfully, no answer are given in my presentations. I think maybe more discussions will be held around the questions in the following roundtable discussions. However, here I'd like to share an interesting program being done by CCID at present that is entrusted by MIIT. CCID is now building a global partnership network for new industrial revolution. We call it Partner Network, which was proposed by President Xi Jinping and was incorporated to the implementation of UN SDGs and the UN 2030 agenda, with the major aim to help developing countries realize leapfrog development in its new industrial revolution. The network is open to all parties of all countries who are interested in the fourth industrial revolution with very flexible participation. You can join as a development partner or the dialogue partners. So the network will be officially launched in late April this year. Inspired by today's discussion, I'm considering to carry out some activities like seminars or training programs special for women under this network to help bridge gender digital gap. So in the end, I do hope with our concerted effort, women in China and the world can be more empowered in the digital economy era. Thanks for your attention and wish all of you a happy International Women's Day.
Let me